Hi guys, how are you? It's Kendall back to share with you my experience after getting married and having a wedding, and how do we cope when we're on carnivore when we have things that come up in our lives that are going to mean we're going to be in situations where we do need to have possibly different foods and be under maybe an uncomfortable situation, and how I dealt with it. And it's one of those things. There's going to be times in your life where things are going to come up. It'll be celebrations or weddings or special trips overseas or anything like that. And often we go and do these wonderful things on our journey to try different things, explore the culture, try the food, all that sort of stuff. So how do we deal with that when we're really dedicated to being carnivore? And I think for me, in my case, it was my wedding, and I had quite a few things that had come up right before that as well. So not only did I have my wedding reception and ceremony and everything, I also had 2 weeks before that, I had organised for my dad's 80th birthday. I had family that had come out from the States, and we were going up north and traveling and having like a week's holiday to celebrate my dad's birthday, which involved, catching up with extended family and staying in a hotel or an Airbnb type place. And once again, eating different foods, being around all that, which I did do a video on that, which some of you guys may have seen, about how I cope with that. And then directly after that, I had a week where I really got back into my routine, and I had lots of wedding stuff to organise, plus we run our own business, so it was looking after children and things, so it was pretty busy. But I always make sure I have consistency in my life. Even if I am traveling, I really try and be consistent. So I think if you're looking at finding sort of the secret sauce, or how to keep everything going on an even keel as much as you can, even when things have to change a little bit, I think consistency is really important. And you might not be able to do it with everything, but you can do it with most things. So when I got back, I got into my exercise routine again. I still exercised while I was away, and I got back into my normal exercise routine. We were eating our normal meals, and drinking water and being really healthy, getting lots of sleep, doing all that. And I wanted to be really good for the wedding. So the wedding day came. It was incredible. It was the best day of my life. It was wonderful. The weather was fantastic. Everything went to plan. But I also knew, with all the planning I'd done, we had chosen a beautiful restaurant to have our very small ceremony in, and have our reception, our meal. So I'd handpicked with my husband all the food that we wanted to have, which is the most beautiful food. So we really didn't want to miss out on the food. And obviously we weren't carnivore when we got engaged and chose the restaurant. So, we were on a completely different mindset. So what I decided to do was, with the food, we chose mainly all meat and protein-based dishes. So it's a really beautiful menu where they give you 2 or 3 starters to try, and they serve each person, so everyone gets a little taste of everything. And then they do the same with the mains. I think there was 2 or 3 mains from memory. And then there was their signature dessert, and then we also had a wedding cake, and then tea and coffee. And obviously they had alcohol if you wanted that as well. So we picked mainly protein, so we tried to stick as much protein in there as we could. So we had chicken, and we had beautiful eye fillet. We had some really finely cut beef, which was mixed in with a little bit of capsicum and like buffalo cheese. So, I did our best to pick off the bits we didn't want to eat. We didn't eat the veggies. Served with veggies, we left the veggies, and we didn't have bread or anything like that. So it was fantastic. I did have a few glasses of champagne. I did want to allow myself that, and so did my husband. And the dessert was something we were both really looking forward to. And now I can say we've come up to 180 days carnivore by the end of this month. I haven't had anything sweet. I haven't had any cheating of food at all until the wedding day. So I had, it's called a bomb Alaska. It's the most beautiful dessert. It's sort of like got a crumbly, chocolatey sort of base, biscuity base with beautiful chocolate ice cream on it with meringue on the top and then chocolate sauce. It's divine, and they make a big one and they serve it up per person, you know. So I ate all that, and I ate, our wedding cake was a croquembouche, which is a French cake which is filled with they're like profiteroles, which is pastry balls, are about that big, and we had like 30 in a triangle, and they're all put together and they're filled with cream patisserie, which is this beautiful cream. They're not overly sweet, so the pastry's not overly sweet. The inside cream is beautiful and not overly sweet. And then they drizzle toffee to connect all the pieces. They drizzle the toffee and the toffee goes hard, and that sticks the cake together. So you get this beautiful consistency of the profiterole pastry, and then the soft, beautiful cream inside with the crunchy toffee on the outside. It was amazing. So we had 1.5 each. We were meant to have one. We had 1.5, and it was divine. Like, I enjoyed every bit of it, and I was going to allow myself to have that, and I made that choice. So I didn't have to do it. Like anything, we don't have to do anything, but I chose to do it. I chose to have those things on my wedding day, and I wanted to enjoy it, and I've totally enjoyed it and didn't regret any of it. It was amazing. But nothing bad happened. You know, I didn't, turn into some carnivore holic. I was totally fine. You know, I drank water throughout the evening. I felt fine. I didn't have too much to drink. The next day I felt actually fantastic. I went out for breakfast with some of my family, and I allowed myself to have a coffee, and I just got straight back on to having, bacon and eggs, whatever I could have at the cafe where we were eating, and then just straight back to normal eating. And it was fantastic. We did have a honeymoon on the Monday, so I only had a few days, and then off on a houseboat, which was wonderful. Some of you would have seen the videos I made, and I tried to document some of my food and the food we were having, which was wonderful. And we were pretty much off the grid, and just the two of us having a beautiful time. We love fishing, so we were fishing and eating lots of fresh fish. So we were eating really healthy. We took our steaks, and we were just straight back on the healthy eating as we normally do. We had a few glasses of wine while we were there. It was our honeymoon, but we really didn't go too silly. And once again, I chose to have those glasses of wine here and there, and I was very, very good about that. But we ate consistently with our food. So that's what I mean about being consistent. There are times where you're going to allow yourself to have that little bit of leeway, and I guess it depends on your relationship with food. For me, I'm quite disciplined, and I can have that one sweet thing, and it doesn't mean I'm going to think or feel that I need to go and have another one the next day, or I'm going to want more straight afterwards. So I'm able to do that and control it. There are some people that can't do that, who really have trouble with that, or maybe they're early on in their carnivore journey. So that may not be the right decision for you. So you have to work out what you can do, where your mind, willpower is. Look at your journey and what's important to you, and how important is this if you do need to do something like that. For me, I made that decision. I chose to do that. I chose to do these things, and I was accountable, and I knew that I would be fine, and I absolutely was. Totally fine. I think when we got back from our week away, the other consistent thing I did was I exercised nearly every day, pretty much every day. I did something. It's not my normal routine, but I took exercise bands with me. I made sure I walked a lot more, because on a houseboat, you're often standing still and fishing, and you're confined to quite a small space. But where we were docked, I could go and walk. So I really made sure I walked, and we went on an amazing hike. So I was consistent with my exercise and keeping my body moving, drinking lots of water, and having good sleeps, and just being in a really good place with all that. So if I did have a glass of wine here, or we went for dinner and we tried to have as healthy food as we could, obviously we stuck to our carnivore meals, you feel awesome, and you feel really, really good, and you can just get back on doing everything when you get back. So what happened when I got home? So we were away for 10 days in 2 different locations. 7 days on the boat where we took all our own food and everything, and then we had 3 days at a hotel. It was actually a pub where you can stay at the back. We didn't once eat at the pub at all. We did have a drink there one night. That was it. We brought our own food still with us. We still had, we finished our steaks and our burger patties, but we had fish, and we did go and buy a couple of steaks from just across the road at there was hardly any shops where we were. At a little store there, we bought a couple of steaks and we just made do. We actually had a camp stove and we cooked on the camp stove in the accommodation out on the balcony, which was a bit cheeky, but we did. And we had the most amazing meals, so much probably better than what you could have at the pub in terms of a carnivore meal. So we stuck to that. And once we got home, I must admit, I felt pretty damn good. A little bit tired. Obviously, you've been traveling, you feel tired, and getting back into routine, getting back into work, it was sort of hit the ground running. As I said, we run our own business, so we were always got things to do. And I just started off my routine again. You know, I was a little bit tired, and there was probably a little bit of stuff coming out of my system, a little bit of the alcohol, but apart from that, I felt pretty good. And I just get back on the wagon. I get straight back into my exercise routine again. And I have that consistency with my lifestyle, and I think that's really important, and it's something that can really help you, not just in your life in general, but also when you're starting carnivore or trying to stay committed on carnivore. If you can have that consistency in other things too, it's going to help you. So for me, I love going to bed fairly early. You know, I'm not a night owl. I try and go to bed by 10 o'clock. It's the best time to get the best sleep. With your biorhythms, you wake up. I try and wake up by 5. I like to exercise in the morning and meditate and do all that. And then I'm getting to my meal around 10 or 11, and I'm usually working and doing other things. Sometimes I'm driving kids and things like that. I always try and keep consistent, keep up my 10,000 steps if I can. I've been a bit slack with that lately, so I'm trying to make sure I do that. And just keep that consistency, you know, good food, good hydration, good sleep, getting outside in the fresh air, having some sunlight, and just going to bed at a good time as well, so you're not tired. All those things are really, really good for you. And obviously when we're doing the eating in the carnivore, it all just goes together so well, and we just feel amazing. I was just saying tonight to my husband, I just wish I had known about carnivore in my 20s or earlier, because we just feel so amazing and so much better. And as you guys probably know, you've got the energy and the clarity, and there's no brain fog, and you've got that energy to do more things. You're able to focus more, you feel better in your body, and it's just so exciting. And I just want to share that with more and more people. So I'm super excited to hear how you're all going with your journey. If you've got any questions or you want to ask anything or share information, that's what this is all about. And I really look forward to hearing from you guys soon. And yeah, let me know if there's anything you want me to do some more videos about. Yeah, I'd love to hear from you. Talk soon, and thanks for watching. Mwah! Bye.